Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching This is Spinal Tap by Rob Reiner, starring him and a bunch of people I don't know. As you might already know, I'm quite familiar with Reiner's work as I have seen The Princess Bride, Misery and Stand By Me on the channel. All of them were fantastic, so do check them out if you haven't yet. Reiner to me is an excellent storyteller, more than a visual artist, and this will officially be the oldest film I've seen from him. Although I don't know anybody who's starring in the film, apart from Reiner himself, of course. I know that this is a mockumentary about a fictional band and their journey. I also came to find out recently that this is the film where the "turn it up to 11" phrase originated from. I have seen that clip on YouTube and it was hilarious. For some reason, I thought that was actually real till a comment pointed it out. That's honestly all I know to expect from this film. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reactions to this film and over 90 movies, early access and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. This is Spinal Tap, Reiner. Let's go.
Hello.
Rob Reiner. He looks young.
I make a lot of commercials. I heard a band that, for me, redefined the word rock and roll. That band was Britain's now legendary Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap.
17 years and 15 albums later, Spinal Tap is still going strong.
17 years and 15 albums.
When I heard that Tap was releasing a new album called Smell the Glove, to say I jumped at the chance to make the documentary, the, if you will, rockumentary that you're about to see.
So he's the filmmaker in the film.
What do you say? Let's boogie.
Nice. I like the intro. So it's a in-universe thing, a rockumentary by Martin D. Burgee. This has to be the band because I recognize the main guy from that YouTube clip I've seen from Turning Up to 11.
Watch it.
Spinal Tap!
It's like you become one with the guys in the band. I mean,
Take all we've got, not a dry seat in the house. If tonight we're gonna rock you.
Ooh, I actually like the music. It's very 80s. I hope I can keep a lot of the music for the YouTube edit because YouTube is notorious for copywriting music.
Big world, but there's only one of us.
Nice, they actually got so many extras.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of the group.
Nice formatting.
Well, before that, we were in different groups.
I was in Lovely Lads.
Lovely lads.
There's another group in the East End called the Originals, and we had to rename ourselves.
New original.
New Originals, and then they became the Regulars. They changed their name back to the Regulars, and we thought, well, we could go back to the Originals. But what's the point? And we became the Thamesmen at that point.
Thamesmen. Oh, this is very Beatles-like.
You know what
More pop than rock.
Give me some money.
Yeah, it definitely reminds me of early Beatles or early Stones.
Your first drummer was...
Look, good drummer,
Good
yeah.
drummer.
Fine
what
drummer.
happened to him?
He died. He died in a bizarre gardening accident.
You know, the authorities said, best leave it
not talking about,
unsolved, really.
Best leave it unsolved.
And he was replaced by...
Stumpy Joe. He's passed on.
He died,
What?
was he choked on vomit.
It was actually,
Passed away.
it was actually someone else's vomit.
How can you choke on somebody else's vomit?
Prove whose vomit it was. They don't have
There's
facilities in
There's
Scotland
no
Yard.
ways.
Prince.
You
Prince
can't
Spectre
really
photographing.
dust for vomit.
Okay, they're not a very bright band.
Bobby, of course. How are you? We know.
I'm pretty sure mockumentaries were not common back then. Okay.
Changes, get the dwarf cannolis, the little ones. Come on, don't talk back, huh? Mime is money. Let's go. Come on, move it.
Mime is money. Okay, I'm going to enjoy this film.
Are you reading Yes I Can?
yeah. Have you read it?
Yeah, by Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a great musician. Sammy Davis Jr.
Frank's walking down Broadway by himself.
So rude.
Fucking mind.
Really?
New York Times.
The New York Times.
Ian, the manager.
We're certainly I'm doing everything I can.
They're trying to break into the American market. They're not famous in America. Fidelity Hall, Philadelphia. I'm really enjoying this filmmaking style. This is completely different to whatever I've seen Rob Reiner do later in his career.
The looser the waistband, the deeper the quicksand. Talk about bum cakes, my girl.
Is that inspired by Queen's Fat Bottom Girls? I like the music though.
Big bottom, talk about mud flaps, my girl's got 'em.
I also get a sense of the lyrics.
This tasteless cover is a good indication of the lack of musical invention within. What day did the Lord create Spinal Tap, and couldn't he have rested on that day too?
Ouch.
Never heard that one. Good one.
And they think it's a compliment.
There's no way to promote something that doesn't exist, you know. It's got to be a reason behind.
They're a band with like 15 albums and they haven't broken into America, so that says a lot about them.
Oh, there's the other thing is that the Boston gig has been cancelled.
Oh no.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
That's
It's not a big college town.
Boston is not a big college town. Yeah, right. Yeah, the filmmaking is very grounded and raw.
Listen, they don't like the cover. They find it very offensive and very sexist.
I mean, what's
You
offensive about
put a greased, naked woman on
Yes.
all fours with
Yes.
a dog collar
With a dog
around her
collar.
neck and a man's arm extended out up to here, holding on to the leash more.
Well, you should have
Listen
seen
to
the
me.
cover they wanted to do.
I don't
It
care
wasn't
what
a
they
club,
want.
believe me.
The White Album? What was that? There was nothing on that goddamn cover.
That was a famous album.
What's wrong with being sexy? I mean, there's no
Sexist and sexy.
What are you doing with it on your finger? I might need it later. Put it on the table. It's terrible. How old were you guys when you met?
55. Quite a while.
Do you remember the first song that you guys ever wrote together?
They've been together forever.
And I'm gonna cry, cry, cry all the way home.
They are talented when it comes to music, but they're not smart. Ooh, North Carolina, Whitechapel. It's a smaller town.
You put it on the bread like this, see?
But then if you keep folding,
Why would he fold it?
everything has to be folded. And then it's this.
They're making fun of rock bands who have outrageous demands, and it's hilarious.
You know where you stand in a hellhole. Folks lend a hand in a hellhole.
I think they're referring to the town. I love how Reiner just goes for the crotch shots intentionally. That's a lot of guitars.
You just bought it?
Don't touch
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point even.
Don't
You
even
can't-
point?
No. If you can see,
Marshall amps.
the numbers all
They're
go
great.
to 11.
Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it? It's not 10. What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
Yeah.
These go to 11.
It gets me every time. But it goes to 11. He just can't comprehend how that works.
Let's do the fame. Let's do the fame.
I'm really enjoying this film, guys. I'm not saying much because it's making me laugh a lot.
Have you seen Duke Fame's current album? Have you
Yes.
seen the cover?
No.
Well, the point is, it's much worse than Smell the Glover. Really
get away with that.
number 3.
Because he's the
number
victim.
3.
Their objections were that she was the victim. It's
See,
not
he did a
sexist.
twist on it.
He did.
But it's still a
It's
stupid
such a
cover.
fine line between stupid and clever. It's just a word turnabout.
Probably the best line of the film so far. There's a fine line between stupid and clever. And they're walking it because they're musically talented, but they're dumb.
But it's not till April. Is she coming to drop some stuff off, you know, and then go right
she's
back?
coming on the way. She's gonna try.
Oh, it's the girlfriend that nobody likes, I bet.
The names to Spinal Tap They had a couple of nice-sized hits. They're currently residing in the Where Are They Now file.
Ow.
Johnny Q with you on Golden 106, and right after we drop
you. 1967, the first time Spinal Tap came into existence.
We toured the world, we toured the stage.
Oh. This is the acid-inspired stuff, I bet. The colors and the mellow music, yep. And it's the late 60s as well, so this is psychedelic pop. Yeah, that's a sitar. That's definitely a product of its era. Kind of reminds me of that Stone song called She Comes in Colors.
Oh, I Love
Jazz
Lucy.
and Blues Festival.
And it was tragic, really. He exploded on stage.
What, another drummer?
There's a little green globule on his drum seat.
It's like a stain, really.
So the third drummer like exploded?
Dozens of people spontaneously combust each year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty hard to edit for the version. Oh, Janine is here. Okay, this is going to cause some problems.
Oh, we wanted to do that.
Look at his face.
What do you think?
Is this the test pressing?
They changed the cover.
It doesn't even say
Nope,
anything.
it's not going to say anything.
It's a blank album.
Simple, beautiful, classic.
It's very stupid and a very dismal looking album. This is depressing.
Nice. That's pretty elaborate. It's like they're hatching from cocoons.
When there was darkness.
I just realized he's stuck. There are
Given the history of Spinal Tap drummers in the past, do you have any fears?
Great question, Marty.
Right.
Everybody can it.
Right.
I mean,
the law of averages
The law of averages
says you will survive.
Yeah.
Well, how does that go over with the other band members?
You know, it's so strange because Nigel and Janine are so similar. They don't dislike each other.
They don't dislike each other. He couldn't say they don't like each other directly, so you have to put it in a double negative sentence.
Would you,
That's the armadillo.
I got their rock and roll, and that'll be my life.
Yeah, some of their songs are actually pretty catchy.
I'm your promo man here in Chicago.
Oh,
It's
that's
good to meet
great.
you. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on here? Hi.
Oh, they're making
Hi, guys.
a-
Artie Puffkin, Polymer Records. Nice to see you.
It's like he's almost forcing the smile. Damn, nobody's here at all. And the record looks like nothing. They look like backplates.
And I don't know what's happening. It's me. I did it. I fucked up. Just kick my ass, okay?
I almost wish this band was real.
Oh, don't be stupid.
It looks
no,
sort
no.
of...
you don't do heavy metal in Dublin, you know? I mean,
In
it's,
what? She means Dolby, all right? She means Dolby. You know perfectly well what she means.
Dolby.
She shan't recover.
Doubly.
This is, you know, Ian can take care of this. It's...
I know what the Stonehenge Monument looks like. We don't have that piece of scenery anymore.
I know, so we built a new one.
Consider it done.
Do you feel that in collaboration with David, that you are afforded the opportunity to express yourself musically?
That's a serious question.
Yeah.
My solos are my trademark.
He has a very healthy obsession with guitars.
It's the right proportions. It'll be this color, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When we get the actual set.
This is the piece.
This is the piece?
18 inches. I was given this napkin. I mean,
Not 18 feet, 18 inches. I'm actually a huge fan of this camera work from lower angles, like the audience would see them.
Beneath, for fear that daybreak might come too soon.
there was a Stonehenge monument on the stage that was in danger of being crushed by a dwarf.
The
Come on.
audience were laughing.
So it became a comedy number.
It's not exactly the first time you've messed things up, is it?
One single thing that goes wrong, 100 things go right.
You could maybe do with some help.
I am not managing it with you. All right? That's it. Good night.
But without Ian, they have no direction. They're in the middle of a tour in America.
We really have a relationship that's way, way past.
They have no manager anymore.
You can't fucking concentrate because your fucking wife.
I don't understand what this has to do with anything.
I just realized that these are all actors.
I feel my role is in the band is to be kind of in the middle of that, kind of like lukewarm water in a sense.
Yeah, he's the most calm one of them all. Alright, Seattle, Washington.
We're going to the Air Force Base.
Why are we going to an Air Force base?
Oh no.
And I have just one request, would you play a couple of slow numbers so I can dance?
Working on a sex farm. Sex farm woman. I'll rake and hoe you down.
This is the wrong crowd.
Raise some hard
Nigel's had enough.
We've got to get someone else in there.
Has he ever done this before? Has he ever?
He actually quit.
We read that, you saw exactly how many people have been in this band over the years. 37 people have been in this band over the years.
37 people?
So what happens to the band now? So he's not coming back, or?
No, we shan't work together again.
Oh man. Throughout this film, they have been going to smaller and smaller venues. That's barely 100 people. But I think they're accepting the fact that they might be over. Nigel's back.
Come see the show?
Yeah. I bumped into Ian and
Ian?
he asked me if you'd be interested in reforming and doing a tour, Japan.
Oh.
So you're gonna set, is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna bring us back to life?
Yeah, well, I think it's time to go in. We haven't got time to discuss this now. Come on.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make up. They've been best friends since they were kids.
You can't touch 'cause I cost too much, but tonight you're young and I'm too old, but tonight.
The lyrics are so inappropriate. That's a different drummer. Hey, they're in Japan. With Ian. Did the drummer explode again? Oh, the film is ending.
So I've got Denham Elliott reading T.S. Eliot on this one.
This is my exact inner structure.
Green, though.
It is green.
Blood is actually red.
Oh, well, maybe it's not green, then I don't know. Anyway, this is what we sleep in.
Yeah. Do you feel your music is racist in any way?
No.
Yeah, these have to be outtakes, which didn't make it into the film, so Reiner is just putting it at the end.
Could not play rock and roll. What would you do?
I'd be a full-time dreamer.
No. Would you, what size do you wear, sir? And then you answer me.
7 1/4.
I think we have that. Something like that.
Yeah.
I could do, yeah.
That was brilliant, guys. I very much enjoyed that. And I don't think I've seen any mockumentaries that early in the 80s. So if you have any other mockumentaries around that time, do let me know. that was great. Okay, I took some time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was so funny. I really enjoyed this one, guys. This is probably the funniest mockumentary I've seen so far, and the earliest one too. This movie wasn't about filmmaking at all. It was all about the writing, music, and performances. All three were top-notch and clearly a labor of love. I can't really think of any weaknesses except the runtime, which I felt was too short. I wanted to see more of their shenanigans. Let's start with the directing by Rob Reiner and the writing by him, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer. The writing team of this mockumentary were the real stars here, followed by the acting. Both complemented each other so well, at times I forgot I was watching a mockumentary and thought the band was actually real. The main plot of the film was pretty thin and straightforward, with the band trying to break into the American market after 17 years and 15 albums and 37 or 35 different members coming and going. It was clearly too late for them, and that's the genius here. Not only did the band play off each other really well, but Rob Reiner's Marty character was also framed excellently as the documentary maker, asking some serious questions to these rock stars. I can't imagine the fun they had on set while filming this movie. I can't even fathom how most of the cast kept a straight face while filming this, because I'd be laughing my butt off if I were them. The band was shown to be extremely musically talented, but pretty dumb. Like the music was very catchy and had great beats and guitar solos, but the lyrics were just awful and sexist, which made it even funnier. I loved how unaware they were of their surroundings. A lot of sketches it goes up to 11 were written so well and executed and timed so perfectly that it was hilarious to watch. The main band members were great in their roles, with the lead singer David, played by Michael McKean, the lead guitarist Nigel, played by Christopher Guest. The bassist was hilarious too, and I think it was played by Harry Shearer. He was the most calm and rational one of the group, with David being influenced a little too much by Janine, his girlfriend. I get major Yoko Ono vibes from her. And Nigel being a very overconfident guitarist, but pretty dumb. He's very talented though as a musician. By the end, although they weren't successful in America, they find minor success in Japan for some reason. That was also that was unexpected and handled brilliantly. The camera work and editing of the mockumentary was really good for the budget, and Reiner had to be very creative to make everything look convincing. The stage was filmed from a downward angle, as if the audience was in the crowd, and that made the band feel closer to us. The editing complemented this, as most of the cuts were very documentary inspired, like the interviews. Although there were many close-up shots in the interviews, no prime lenses were used, and that made it very impersonal. And even the bus shots or the normal shots, you could tell that Reiner used a handheld camera with no stabilization, showing that they were always on the move. So that's a very good thing. The actual music in the film was honestly great. It was good enough for me to look them up later and actually listen to their music. Don't get me wrong, the lyrics were pretty bad, but I mean it in the best possible way. It was like Weird Al on steroids. The guitar solos were on point, and at one point David plays a Mozart and Bach inspired piece, a mock, if you will. That was actually beautifully written, and I hope they actually wrote that for the film, because I actually enjoyed that. The only criticism I have of the film is actually a backhanded compliment. I felt like the film was too short at only 83 minutes. Maybe I watched too many long films or something. I really wanted to see more of them, more stupidity with the veil of innocence. Top-notch stuff. Overall, I loved this film. This was one of the best mockumentaries I've ever seen. It was beautifully written, acted, and directed. The music was great too. Weirdly, this might be among Reiner's best films, a mockumentary of all things. If you love rock and roll, watch this film. If you love comedy, watch this film. If you love mockumentaries, watch this film. It's an easy recommendation for anyone and everyone. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Consider being a patron. Subscribe to the channel. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video. Dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.